Hello YouTube, welcome to part 16 of our two-handed Savagery Archon guide, where last time we did the hidden path to get a skill point and an attribute point, and also to try and get some new legs. And we did get some legs, but I do want to give the Guardian of Soleil another shot, just in case, because that attack damage converted to health is quite nice, and it will help carriers a little bit. But I'm only going to do it once, and if it doesn't drop, then it doesn't drop. We'll move on. So this episode is going to be firstly killing the Guardian of, what's it, Drieg, Soleil, whichever one lives here, I forget. So we're going to kill him, see if he drops his pants. That's an odd way of saying it, but anyway. And once we either get his pants or don't, we're going to move on with the main story. I'm not going to bother farming it off screen. These pants are good enough. You didn't see it, but I was doing air quotes there. And they will get us through probably until at least midway through Elite. And we may end up buying some faction pants anyway, so it'll be fine. When you're leveling, you definitely don't need to farm things. A lot of the stuff that is build enabling is just included as a base on the MI, so whatever attributes you get with it, whatever affixes, sorry, should mostly just be focused on survival, really. Like these ones, the Nature's Bounty, the Purging, whatever those are, for most MIs doesn't really matter. You just want to get survival because the damage is baked into the build in the MIs usually. For example, if you look at the weapon we have, it's got... Oh, did drop some pants. Okay. This weapon, for example, the Tyrants of Ruin, they're really nice, but the majority of the damage that comes from this is the 100 lightning converted to physical and the extra damage on Feral Hunger. And I guess the extra bleeding on Savagery isn't bad either. But all of that is standard. You don't have to worry about whatever the attributes are. These pants, what did we get? Only 4%. I think it goes up to 6, although I could be wrong. Pretty good resistances on them. Reduced freeze duration is nice. I have Reckoning as meh. Fire damage, we don't care. Those are basically, you could just have those be Soleil Sec leg guards with no modifiers on it, and that's probably about as good as it is. I'm probably not going to hang on to those. Anyway, I'll pick up the rest of the loot, and just looking at these shoulders, they might actually be worth using. No resistances on them though, kind of hurts. Same with the boots. Fire and cold res are not great. Nah, it'll be fine. All right, so we're going to move on with the main quest. So we're going to go to Barrowhome and head north. Our last mission for the main story, I guess, was to get the fetish, I think it was, the item from the box inside here. So we worked with Scorv and Barrowhome. He liked us enough to give us that item, and so now we have it. Where is it? Oh, the Orgrim's Keepsake. Yeah, so we have that item, and we can open the portal. And we're going to head into one of the Chaos areas, which, with 85% Chaos Res, did I read that right? I did. 85% Chaos Res, and Vitality is capped as well. This should be, I won't say easy, there's still a lot of damage in there, but with our resistances pretty well sorted, it should be doable. What's our faction standing with the Rovers as well? Still just respected. Once we get to Honored, I think that is, we'll have another quest to do with them, which will give us another shrine as well. I'll probably have to come back to normal, because that most likely won't happen until Elite. So the damage is really picking up. Hopefully we can get to 52 I think it is when we get a new weapon, and then we'll go shopping. I'm gonna buy it from Bolivar? I forget his name. The kind of hidden shop in the Bloodgrove will sell them. And we'll just go there and reset his shop over and over. Hulking leg guards. Is that the ones we already had? It is. So which one's better? These ones I think are better. So we'll keep those. Alright, eat the note. Okay. We are going to use the heirloom, and in we go. Now when you go into these, well this is the Desolate Wastes, but when you go into these chaos areas, you always get sent into a random location, and you can't leave unless you find the portal out. So it's actually a lot of damage. And that's even with max resistances, so just be very careful in here. It's a lot of damage. I think it's probably a lot of physical damage, and our lack of armor is not helping. So what do we got? Level 49, I think we get a pair of shoulders, or no, I wasn't going to use those because there's no resistances on them. But we got some armor coming up, pants and chest I think it was at level 50. That's a lot of elites. Okay, not too bad. That's a lot of armor. What does this one have for armor? 600. Yeah, we'll just use those. So somewhere in here, and I don't have the map up, so I'm not sure exactly where, but there is a treasure trove, and there is also an exalted chest from memory. But I'm probably not going to find them, because as I say, I don't have the map up, so I'm not 100% sure on the spawn locations. But it would be nice to find them. If you don't already have a Rylox crest, which is the medal, these areas are a good place to farm them. Although personally, I prefer, if I'm gonna farm them, I would go to the Bloodgrove and just do totems, because you get so much other stuff, and the totems only spawn in set locations, and they have a very high chance of having the monsters you need to get the Rylox, whereas when you come into these areas you probably find a pack or two of them, and they're going to be, you know, kind of hidden up the back, or you'll have to go find them. So for me, I prefer doing the totems. Alright, so anyway, while we're in here, our objective is to find Olgrim, who's going to be sort of through up and to the right here. There's another portal here. That portal will take us to the second chthonic area, the Void's Edge, which is pretty good for farming those Rylock crests. I think there's usually a pack or two of Rylocks. 49. Bar is already maxed. Storm Touch, I'm just going to leave at the soft cap, so we'll go Primal Bond. It's definitely worth it to kind of go a little bit slower through here, kill everything so you have a path to retreat. That first group in the last zone kind of shows like how fast you can melt in here. There can be a lot of damage very quickly. So I think it's definitely worth it to kill everything on the way. Just go a little bit slowly, a little bit safer, and you should be fine. I am going to double back and kill these as well, just in case. Also, what are they doing? reducing my damage and life leech. There was a red eyeball there as well. I think that's going to be some sort of resistance reduction. So if I see it again, I'll try and pause and have a look at it. What's that one? Reduce damage, mark of pain, reducing damage, reducing strength speed. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of debuffs anyway. Reduction in total resistance. I imagine that's all of our resistances. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of debuffs. I am curious what that the debuff with the red eyeball on it was, and who was doing it. Is it here? Yeah, there it is. There's a few little secret areas in the sides here. It's probably not really worth it to go in there, to go looking for them, but if you find them, you may as well grab the loot. There is a somewhat scary boss in here if your fire resistances are not under control. I think he also does chaos, but he can do a lot of damage very quickly. So make sure, probably by this point, you should have all your resistances maxed. I'm kind of, don't know what happened there. Had 85, now we've got 68, so yeah, not sure. Probably should have swapped that Aether Ward for a Chaos Ward again, but it's too late now. So the boss I was talking about is right here. He's going to spawn. Where is he? There he is. Okay. Try and do as much damage as fast as I can because I am going to have to run away. I think this is the one that puts volcanoes on the floor. Yep. That thing can shotgun you. It's definitely a lot more dangerous at higher levels in, higher difficulties. And if you're just standing on it, looking at the loot, it's a really good way to die. I think I lost 3 or 4 characters in hardcore to being blinded by the shinies on the floor and standing in some sort of, acid or aether pool that the boss had left behind before he died. It's a little bit embarrassing. Okay, so here you can see the star on the map up there is Ulgrim. If you are playing hardcore, be very, very careful what you pick here. If you piss him off, he will kill you. So I forget exactly. You tell him he's in the void. I'm not the Emperor. I'm your friend. Okay. Take the void to Malmo. Just be careful. Be very careful about the options you take. If you get into a fight with him, you will lose. Especially if you're in a leveling build. He is... I think the game ends up telling you towards the end that he's basically a demigod. You don't really want to fight him if you can avoid it. We are pretty close to the end. This next section I think is where the Rylocks are in here. So again, you have to come basically to the end to get to them. That is an arcane boss, which is not what I wanted to see. I'm just going to watch my buffs, and as soon as I see them disappear, I'm going to run away. I think we just dodged his arcane orb, and he's dead anyway. Okay. Buffs are still active, that's good. Gonna fight our way through here. Again, in here it's definitely worth taking your time and killing everything so you know you can retreat if you need to. Okay, Void Rylocks, here we go. Do they have it active? I don't think so. Watch my health. You should notice about a quarter of my max health disappear at some point, although maybe these aren't high enough level to do it yet. They have, definitely at higher levels, I didn't notice it here, but they have an aura that reduces your max health by, like, I think it's about a quarter. can be a little bit scary, seeing, you know, your max level character with 20,000 health suddenly have 15,000 max. Alright, I think there's another little secret here, maybe. Oh no, it's in the mouth of this thing, that's right. There we go. A little bit more iron, and 2 more weapons that I'm going to turn into more iron. Okay, and we're out. We managed to escape, so we talk to Olgrim, and he will tell us to continue on to Malmo. So, oh, already got that recipe, lovely. Hopefully we can get to level 50 and put some better gear on, because I am definitely starting to feel squishy. If you see those chaos totems, destroy them immediately, they will hurt. Or kill whoever summoned them, I guess. It's another good way of doing it. This is one good thing about this build, it's very much just hold the button and watch everything melt around you. Yeah, we definitely need some gear upgrades. It's alright, they are coming, they are coming. Is that 20% of a level? 30, 40, something like that? Alright. I actually quite like this next area. I just wish it wasn't so time consuming to get to it, especially if you're coming from this side. You kind of have to go for a tour of the mountains before you get down to the plain outside the city. Yeah, it's a pretty cool area. So you've got the ethereals are fighting the Chthonians on the plain. It's pretty cool to watch. Okay, here we go. So there's, you can see the Aether is starting down here. And here's the Chthonians setting up shop on their front door. Okay, what is this one? Just a regular Void Touched? I think we can take that. Hopefully get something nice, like maybe some new boots or shoulders or gloves would be good. Juggernaut, that is actually quite a good relic for hardcore. That unstoppable 15% chance when hit proc is pretty good healing. It's also flat fizz damage, percent fizz damage. If that was +1 to Shaman, I would immediately craft one of these. It's a shame it isn't. I might even just craft one anyway. What are these shoulders? Level 50. Not awful. It's very close to 50 now. Should get it here. Less armor. I think we already have a chest anyway. Yeah. We'll just continue on. There is a quest out here that if you, back in Homestead, if you gave the, well, that's a nice ring as well. If you gave the diary back to Diala, which I'm pretty sure I did, then she will show up out here along the right-hand side of the map, and she'll have another couple of quests for you, which involves going into the sewers in the city to find an item, and also into there's another portal out on these plains into another chthonic area, and there's a pretty nasty boss in there too. And that'll tie in with Forgotten Gods stuff later on if you're interested in the story. Which you should be, it is actually a pretty good story. As far as action RPGs go, the story of Grim Dawn is pretty good, and mostly told through lore notes. Typically, action RPG games, their story is only really there to be like, go to this area and kill everything, and then go to this area and kill everything. And the story as it was is not really that important. See, we're still getting faction with the Outcast. We're probably... Yeah, it's building up. And we're not going to do any of her quests, because she'll nuke our Black Legion standing. And at least for this particular playthrough, the Black Legion reputation is way more important. They have some very good augments, and I think there's a couple of pieces of armor that I want from them as well. Don't quote me on that, I may be misremembering. Alright, we'll head up towards the city. I am going to grab the quest from Diala. I don't normally do it, but for the purpose of this playthrough I think I'll do it. These guys hurt. Oh, we ran into a fight. So I think may have gone a little too far north for Diala. I'm gonna feel really stupid when I get to where she's supposed to be and realize that I actually didn't give her the diary back in Homestead, and that's why she's not there. Don't actually remember if I did it. Pretty sure I did. Yeah, here she is. Diala Thornsbury. Okay, we're looking for his clues. They're not out here, so we'll have to go into the sewers to find them. Another devotion shrine, very nice. I could use a few more of those. So close to 50. Okay. Can you give me level 50? No. How about your friends? This should be enough. This should be level 50. There we go. Alright, we're halfway there. Made it to the halfway point. Let's have a look at our gear. I'm kind of curious about this ring. I used these on my Death Knight for a while, the mythical version of these. I might actually have two of them. I can't remember exactly which ones it was. Okay. I'm going to put these on. Resistances, we're not going to get any more poison. We will get bleed and pierce from the Silk Swatch. We'll get another 8% chaos, which is not really important. I think it's mostly the bleed and pierce we need. I'm gonna go vendor this and sort out what are they called? Components. Words are hard. Alright, so I'm gonna keep the add-on for this. I'm gonna keep the add-on for this. And same for this one. So chuck that on there, that on there, that on there. These gloves are actually not very amazing. The attack speed is very nice, but it's mostly the resistances and the extra armor I want. They have 800 armor, that's more than we have on our chest and legs at the moment. I think that'll do. Did we change the pants? We did. Yep, okay. Let's just sell all of this. We're gonna spend a decent amount of time in Malmo. I want to get to, I think it's honored with them, to be able to buy a couple of their items. But to do that we have to get there first, so... Don't want to keep that. What are the resistances like on that ring? Poison and vitality. So, not great. Although that vile ring of soul warding has health, vitality, and aether. Yeah, not worth. For these sorts of things, you probably could hang on to that and chuck it in your stash. If nothing else, maybe one of your other characters will use it. That is a lot of armor. I think we're going to have to use that, which is going to put our piercing back below the cap, and aether as well. Aether resistance is something that's going to be quite important coming into this next area. Even with that aether ward on the weapon, it might be worth crafting the helmet thing. I am going to do that though. So we keep the add-on, chuck that back on. Yeah, we're not quite capped. That's alright. Let's get back to it. Probably should have waited for the waypoint. It's just up ahead. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to get the waypoint. This is going to be another one of the ambush waypoints where you have to fight for it. Then I'm going to turn around and head into the sewers and get that devotion shrine that you can see on the map. And then we might call that episode 15. There's a lot of heroes here. Vampiric and Frozen. I think this is the second or third time I've seen that belt on this character, and I'm still not going to wear it. Okay, starting to run into the Ethereal Colossus now. These things are basically a massive pile of hit points. Go to the Ancestor. No. Right, so we're going to talk to Elgrim. He's going to tell us to go into the city. We're going to ignore him for now. We will come back to that though. So we're going to go get that devotion shrine. Actually, I'm going to take a quick detour into these cellars to find the quest item for Dahlia. As I said, this quest is normally one that I skip. I don't think Dahlia has any kind of faction standing, but it is quite a long quest line that spreads over, what, Act 3? This would be Act 6 and also Act 7 as well. So it's a fun quest line. The end of Act 7 will make more sense if you do it, and it's a bunch of XP. I like XP. So this lectern has the letter on it, which we're gonna... Oh, no, can't read it. Okay. I'm just gonna leave here. There is a lot more in this dungeon. If you go sort of over this way, I guess, there's a boss called Turnox, who, if you are playing a Death Knight or a Battle Mage, you're going to be very familiar with by the end of Ultimate or Elite, depending on which one you farm it on. But for this character, I'm not really interested in him. shrine. Excellent. Alright, that's our shrine. Which will finish the Dire Bear for us. Physical damage, defensive ability, armor. Lovely stuff. Next up is going to be the Solemn Watcher, which is a very defensive constellation. I don't think there's any offensive stuff on this at all. No, there isn't. That's all pure defense. Physique, armor, cold resist, pierce resist, more armor, defensive, more physique, and reflected damage reduction, defensive ability. Really nice defensive constellation, that one. But that'll about do us for part 16. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in part 17. Thanks very much, and goodbye.